Welcome back to T-Channel JF Coin. Today we are diving deep, and I mean way deep, into one of the most talked about modern pennies, the 2060 Lincoln penny. That's right, this unassuming 1-cent coin from the United States might just be worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars depending on what you have. Money bag. By the end of this video, you'll know. Heavy check mark the history behind the 2060 penny. Heavy check mark why most of them are only worth 1 cent. Heavy check mark and what rare versions can fetch on the market, sometimes hundreds or thousands of dollars. So if you're ready, smash that like button, thumbs up, and let's uncover some hidden coin treasures. Scroll Part 1. What is the 2060 Lincoln penny? First, let's talk basics. The 2060 Lincoln penny is a US 1-cent coin minted in Denver. That little D below the date stands for the Denver Mint. United States. This is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, first introduced way back in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, and it's stuck around for over a century. In 2006, the coin still featured Lincoln's portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. What's really cool is that after 1982, pennies stopped being mostly copper and became mostly copper-plated zinc. That means they're actually mostly zinc with just a thin copper coating. So, what's the big deal? Heavy $. Part 2. Face value versus market value. If you pulled a 2060 penny out of your pocket right now, most of the time it would only be worth 1 cent. Yeah, not impressive at first glance, right? But here's where things get interesting. Heavy check mark. A circulated penny, one that's been used, equals usually just face value. Heavy check mark. A nice uncirculated coin equals could be worth a few cents to a few dollars. Heavy check mark. A high grade, collectible example equals tens, hundreds, or thousands. That's right, not all pennies are equal. Chart increasing. Part 3. What makes some 2060 pennies so valuable? So how can a coin that originally cost 1 cent be worth hundreds or even more? Magnifying glass tilted left 1. Condition matters. Grading. Coins are graded on how perfect they are. A pristine penny straight from the mint, called uncirculated, that shows nowhere at all, can demand a premium from collectors. Some rare grades have been known to sell for over $1,000 plus. Magnifying glass tilted left 2. Color and surface. Pennies come in color designations. Red RD is the most desirable because it shows the original copper luster. These versions can sell for much more than browned or worn pennies. Magnifying glass tilted left 3. Auction records. The auction record for a 2060 penny graded MS68 RD is tremendous. One example has traded hands for well over $900, and some are reported even higher. But that's not all. Part 4. Rare era coins and special rarities. Here's the really exciting part for collectors and treasure hunters. Some 2006 pennies have mistakes. Tiny anomalies in the minting process that make them insanely valuable. Examples include fire double die errors, where the design elements are struck twice and produce a noticeable doubling on the letters or numbers. These can sometimes fetch value well into the hundreds or over $400 plus on the market. Fire strike-through errors, where foreign material, like a piece of wire or grease, gets struck into the coin, creating unusual marks. Some of these error coins have been sold for hundreds of dollars. These kinds of mistakes happen very rarely, and that's what drives collector excitement. So while most 2060 pennies are common and cheap, specific rare varieties can be worth a lot more than their face value. Direct hit. Part 5. So is it really worth $442? You might have heard in some videos or listings that a 2060 Lincoln penny is worth around $442. And here's how to interpret that. Backhand index pointing right. That value is not standard for all 2060 pennies. Backhand index pointing right. It might refer to a specific rare error or a highly graded coin with special designation. Backhand index pointing right. Huge auction results tend to be for the very rare exceptions, not the rule. So if someone tells you, your penny is worth a fortune, always ask, heavy check mark. Is it graded? Heavy check mark. Does it have a mistake? Heavy check mark. What condition is it in? Heavy check mark. Did it actually sell for that amount? Those answers make all the difference. Brain. Part 6. How to check your own coin? Here's a quick way to see if your penny is worth more than 1 cent. Round pushpin. Step 1. Check the mint mark. Is it AD? Round pushpin. Step 2. Look for errors, doubled letters, off-center strike, weird marks. Round pushpin. Step 3. Is it shiny with full red color? Round pushpin. Step 4. Consider getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Sometimes that little bowl of pennies could be hiding a tiny treasure. Party popper. Conclusion: what you should take away. So what's the final truth? Sparkles. A typical 2060 penny is a 1 cent coin in common. Nothing to write home about. Sparkles, but rarely. Some examples, especially era coins or high-grade uncirculated ones, can sell for hundreds or more at auction. Sparkles. If you find one in great condition or with an unusual feature, don't toss it. It may be worth checking with a coin expert. Loudspeaker OUTRO. Call TOACTIO. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2060 Lincoln penny, hit subscribe, ring that bell, and drop a comment below telling us. Backhand index pointing down. Have you ever found a penny worth more than 1 cent? Backhand index pointing down. Thanks for watching, and keep hunting those treasures. Sparkles. Would you like a shorter version or a script with on-screen graphics, cues, and editing notes too? Just say the word. Today we're diving deep into one of the most surprising pocket coins in America, the 1989 D Lincoln penny. You won't believe how much some of these humble little cents can be worth, with some selling for crazy prices, like over $400. Face screaming in fear. Yes, seriously. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you might be checking your own jars of pennies with totally new eyes. Let's go! Bell title graphic: 1989 D Lincoln penny, worth WAY more than 1 cent. Pushpin. Chapter 1. What is the 1989 D penny? History and background. Hosts. First, let's break it down. The 1989 D Lincoln penny is a 1 cent coin minted in Denver, Colorado, which is what the D stands for. It's part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that was used for decades. This coin looks ordinary. It's small, copper-colored, and most people toss it in their change without a second thought. But surprise, not all 1989 pennies are created equal. Quick facts: money bag face value, 1 cent round pushpin mint mark, D. Denver. Composition: copper-plated zinc, introduced in the 1980s to reduce production costs. Straight ruler weight, 2.5 grams. Tear off calendar year, 1989. Round pushpin. Designer: Victor D. Brenner, obverse, and Frank Gasparo, reverse. Brain. Chapter 2. Why it looks cheap. Normal value. Host. Now here's the thing. Most of these 1989 D pennies are worth exactly face value. That's right, just 1 cent in average circulated condition if there's nothing special about it. Even in uncirculated condition, standard examples might only bring a couple of bucks, not enough to retire on. But sparkles, that's just the common ones. Sparkles Gemstone. Chapter 3. What makes a 1989 D penny valuable? Host. Here's where things get interesting, and where collectors go wild. There are a few things that could make a 1989 D penny worth significantly more than 1 cent. White heavy checkmark 1. GEM and high-grade coins. If a penny is in mint state, meaning it never circulated and still has shiny, crisp detail, it can be worth several dollars or tens of dollars to a collector. The higher the grade, the bigger the premium. White medium star 2. Era coins and rarities. Now this is where it gets exciting. Small blue diamond off-center strikes. If the design isn't properly centered, some off-center coins have sold for dozens or even hundreds of dollars depending on severity. Small blue diamond copper planchet errors. Extremely rare 1989 D pennies struck on older copper planchets, instead of zinc, have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. Small blue diamond struck on wrong planchet. Coins accidentally struck on dime or other planchets can be very valuable, sometimes in the hundreds. That means one coin you find could be insanely valuable. We're talking much more than face value. Dollar banknote. Chapter 4. True market sales, real examples. Host. Okay, real talk. Let's look at actual coins and what they sold for. Pushpin, a Denver 1989 penny error struck on a copper planchet, sold for over $3,500 at auction. Pushpin, other rare 1989 D copper errors have sold for $5,000 to $7,500 or more when graded by major services. Pushpin, even some regular uncirculated 1989 D pennies graded highly on PCGS or NGC, can fetch over $250 to higher, depending on condition. And yes, collectors do pay big bucks for rare coins. Test Tube Chapter 5: How to Spot a Valuable Penny Yourself host. Now you might be thinking, how do I know if mine is valuable? Here are a few steps you can take. Magnifying glass tilted left. Step 1. Look at the mint mark. The tiny d is key, but don't underestimate how mint marks can affect value. Balance scale. Step 2. Weigh the coin. A normal 1989 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If it weighs significantly more, it might be a rare error. Camera with flash. Step 3. Inspect for errors. Look for off-center strikes, odd shapes, doubling, misprints, and unique spots. Package. Step 4. Consider grading. Professional grading by PCGS or NGC can authenticate and protect your coin, and often increase value. Bar chart. Chapter 6. Current market trends, 2025 update. Host. Even though pennies are still produced, the market for collectible cents has changed over time. Some ended up selling for nothing, while others make huge money based on rarity and collector demand. Just keep in mind, values can vary based on condition, rarity, and buyer interest, so always do research before selling. Brain. Chapter 7. Final Tips and Secrets. Host. Before we wrap up, here's the real coin hunter truth. White medium star 1. Most 1989 D pennies are just worth 1 cent, yes, most of them. White medium star 2. But on rare occasions, they can be gold mines. White medium star 3. Never clean your coin, cleaning can destroy value. White medium star 4. Always consider professional grading for potential high-value pieces. White medium star 5. Coin collecting is about fun first, money second. Party popper. Closing scene. Host holding up a magnifying glass. Host. So there you have it, the truth behind the 1989 D Lincoln penny. From everyday pocket change to rare collector's treasure, this little coin proves that any coin could hide serious value. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe for more coin discoveries, and drop a comment telling me if you found a rare penny. Thanks for watching, and keep hunting those treasures. Fire. If you want, I can also create a short version, a voiceover script, or even on-screen text cues to match this full-length video. Today, we're going deep into the world of one of the most commonly misunderstood coins out there, the 2003 D Lincoln penny from the USA. You might have seen videos or listings shouting prices like $442 or even more, but what's the real deal? Stay tuned, because this video will break down the history, true market value, rare exceptions, and how to tell if your penny might be worth money or just, well, a penny. Money with Wings. Brain. Chapter 1. A little history. Let's travel back to 2003. That year, the United States Mint produced billions of pennies, and one of those was the 2003 D Lincoln penny. The D simply means it was minted in Denver, Colorado. United States. This penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, a design that was used from 1959 all the way until 2008. In 2003 alone, the Denver Mint churned out over 3.5 billion of these coins. Yep, billions. That means this coin is not rare by standard production numbers. Dollar banknote. Chapter 2. Face value versus collector value. Here's the key truth. Backhand index pointing right. A circulated 2003 D penny, the one you find in your pocket change, is generally worth exactly 1 cent. Yes, 1 cent. Orange circle, that's the face value. Even uncirculated ones, shiny and perfect, usually sell for just a few dollars, unless they're graded by professional coin graders. So where do crazy numbers like $442 come from? Gemstone. Chapter 3. What makes some pennies worth more? There are ways a 2003 D penny can become valuable, but not because of the year or mint mark alone. Here's what can make a penny interesting to collectors. white heavy check mark sports medal 1. Uncirculated or high-graded coins graded by companies like PCGS or NGC in top grades, like MS67, MS68, or MS69RD, especially with full red original color, can go higher in price because they're rare in that condition. Example auction prices for high-grade 2003D pennies vary. Sometimes a superb MS69RD example sells in the hundreds of dollars, but these are the exception, not the rule. 2. Errors and oddities. If the coin has a striking error, such as warning off-center strikes, warning doubled dies, warning broad strikes, warning wrong planchet errors, these can be significantly more valuable, sometimes reaching over hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on rarity. But those aren't normal. They're special mistakes made during minting. Magnifying glass tilted left. Chapter 4. What isn't valuable? Just having a 2003D penny doesn't make it worth hundreds. Many online listings, especially on sites like eBay or YouTube, will hype up coins and post prices like, "This is worth $442. But a lot of those are scams, mislisted, or speculative valuations. Even experts remind us, standard circulated 2003D pennies are super common, and still worth just a penny unless they have extraordinary features. Chart increasing. Chapter 5. How much are 2003D pennies really worth? Here's a realistic price guide based on recent market data. Condition: common value circulated. Everyday coin, 1 cent uncirculated, nice, $1, $10 certified high grade, MS65, MS68, $10, $120 top auction quality, MS69 RD plus, $300, $600 plus. Rare errors hundreds of dollars, $1000s plus. So yes, very special, top tier graded coins or errors can fetch hundreds of dollars, but that's not the standard value. Why medium star? Chapter 6. Tips: if you think you have something SPCIL, if you think your penny might be worth something more, pushpin check for mint mark under the date, D for Denver, no mark for Philadelphia. S for San Francisco. Proof: pushpin look for full red color, untuned original copper luster. Pushpin notice any strange markings, doubling, or blanks. Pushpin if in doubt, get it. Professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Loudspeaker final TAKAWAY. So here's the honest truth. Heavy check mark: a 2003D Lincoln penny in your wallet is most likely worth 1 cent. Heavy check mark: some exceptional and high-grade versions can be valuable, sometimes hundreds of dollars. Heavy check mark, but don't trust everyone shouting big numbers. Only the rarest graded or error coins reach those levels. Coins are more than money, they are pieces of history. Even if yours isn't worth $442, it's cool to hold something minted over 2 decades ago. Sparkles direct hit. If you enjoyed this video and want more coin mysteries, myths, and market truths, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Drop a comment if you have a penny you want me to value. Would you like me to turn this into a tighter script with YouTube timestamps and bullet points too? Just let me know. Today, we are diving deep into something truly fascinating. The 2016 Ultra Lincoln Penny. Yes, the humble 1 cent coin that could be worth hundreds of dollars. Or even more. If you've ever wondered whether that penny in your pocket could be a hidden treasure, stay tuned because this one is wild. Cut to close-up of penny visuals, host voiceover. Alright, let's go back a bit. The Lincoln penny has been an American staple since 1909, celebrating Abraham Lincoln's legacy. But most pennies, especially modern ones, are not worth much more than their face value. That's the truth, but with one important exception: rare errors and high-quality specimens that can fetch way more than 1 cent. Brain, what is the 2016 Lincoln penny? The story behind IT host. In 2016, the U.S. Mint produced millions and millions of Lincoln Shield pennies, plain, ordinary cents you've probably seen 1,000 times. In fact, the Philadelphia Mint struck nearly 4.7 billion pennies that year, and the Denver Mint produced about 4.4 billion, making them very common. But here's the twist: even common coins can hide rare collector gems. Let's break that down. Magnifying glass tilted left: common versus rare. What makes a penny valuable? Host voiceover over visuals of different pennies. First, the typical 2016 penny in your pocket? Heavy checkmark circulated condition equals usually just 1 cent. Heavy checkmark uncirculated but ordinary equals maybe 10 cents to a few dollars. Heavy checkmark proof versions from San Francisco equals a few dollars. Nothing crazy, unless there's something special going on. But then we get into rare errors and mint freaks, and this is where the value skyrockets. Gemstone epic error coins, the money makers host. Numismatists, that's what coin collectors are called. Love error coins. These are pennies that were accidentally made incorrectly at the mint due to striking mishaps. Here are some of the most exciting 2016 error types collectors hunt for. Small blue diamond broad strike error. When the coin isn't centered in the minting collar, and it spreads out oddly. This one once sold for about $200 or more at auction. Small blue diamond misplaced mint mark. Imagine the little d or s not being where it's supposed to be. That happened. One 2016 D with this error sold for around $415. That's a lot for a penny. Small blue diamond partial collar errors. Another cool mistake where part of the coin is shaped wrong. One sold for over $300. Small blue diamond die cracks, lamination errors, doubled dies. Each of these can add significant value, with prices ranging from tens to hundreds of dollars depending on severity and rarity. Money bag, what about $442 and similar values? Host. Now here's where things get really interesting. There are reports of certain 2016 pennies, especially ultra-high grade, unique error coins, trading for hundreds of dollars, like prices around $442 and even way above. These come from collectors and auction results, where someone was willing to pay premium amounts because that penny was exceptionally rare or beautiful. So while most 2016 pennies aren't worth much, those rare ones? They can be worth hundreds, sometimes even more, depending on condition, rarity, and collector demand. Brain market trends. Why collectors care even about modern pennies host, voiceover with dramatic visuals. Why would enthusiasts pay so much for a modern penny? It's because of these reasons. Heavy checkmark rarity. Some error coins are 1 in thousands or even 1 in millions. Heavy checkmark high mint state grades. Coins graded MS65 or higher by grading services like PCGS or NGC can jump in value fast. Heavy checkmark collector demand. Some people build complete coin sets and will pay big money for a perfect piece. And check this, modern coins can sell for prices that surprise even veteran collectors. Chart increasing. What should you do if you think you have a valuable 2016 penny? Host, big emphasis. Here's the smart strategy. Backhand index pointing right, inspect it closely. Use a magnifying glass. Backhand index pointing right, look for errors, odd shapes, doubled letters, or unusual mint marks. Backhand index pointing right, check the color. Full red, RD. Pennies are usually more valuable than brown, BN. Backhand index pointing right, get it graded by a professional coin grading service if you think it's rare. That can boost value tremendously. Checkered flag, final thoughts. From 1 cent to many hundreds. Host, enthusiastic, closing. So, if you're sitting there with a handful of pennies, don't dismiss the 2016 Lincoln penny. Most are just 1 cent, but some rare ones have sold for hundreds of dollars or more. From misplaced mint marks to crazy mint errors, these little coins can build big excitement, and even big value. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe for more coin treasure hunts, and comment below, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Let me know. Outro music / animation, if you'd like, I can also help you write thumbnail text, title ideas, or tags to boost views. Just let me know.